Now it's your turn to try. What I'd like you to do is reread this page here. While you're reading this page, see if you can use one of the strategies to help us figure out why the lunch lady thought Gracie already got a lunch. Go ahead and pause this now and try to either read on and carry on with that question of why the lunch lady thought Gracie already got lunch, or to reread the last part to make sure it makes sense. So I'm going to place that up here. And go ahead and take the time to pause the video and read that. You should be done pausing the video now and ready to move on. So let's talk about some of the things that you might have read. I heard some of you reading on and getting somewhere. I'm going to jump in, though, to see if we answered our question, why did the lunch lady accuse Grace of taking seconds? I'm going to read aloud and find out. Yes, you did, the lunch lady said. You took the spaghetti and french fries. No, I said. I didn't get anything. Are you sure, the lunch lady said. I know it was you. It wasn't, Becky said. Honest. The lunch lady gave me lunch, but I could tell she didn't believe us. She kept shaking her head and looking at me suspiciously. When we went to sit down, Becky nudged me. Look over there, she said, pointing. That's why the lunch lady thought you already got your lunch. I looked where she was pointing, and I saw a girl that looked Chinese, just like me. I hadn't noticed her before because she had been all bundled up in a fuzzy scarf and hat. She was brand new. I couldn't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Now I see. The lunch lady did that because she was confused. She confused Grace for another girl. I guess she wasn't really looking at Grace very closely. She was barely looking at her at all. I guess that's such a shame. I bet that didn't feel good at all. Not to be recognized after so many days of being at the school. And not only did the lunch lady look closely, she accused Grace wrongly. That lunch lady's confusion points to something else I'm wondering. I'm wondering about other parts that I might have missed where Grace was feeling different because of her race. Now I see what an important part of the story this is for Grace. I'm glad I made sure we understand this. This is a 10 out of 10 reading. Readers, when you first realize that reading isn't making sense, and then do something about it, it can help you get your reading back on track. Look what we did today. We noticed it didn't make sense in this part where Grace was confused for another student of getting lunch already by the lunch lady. And some of the things that we did to help us understand would be we re-skimmed through earlier parts, looking for that detail that might help us figure out why we didn't understand. We reread carefully, and even then we still didn't really understand that strategy didn't work. It wasn't until we read on with that question in our mind that we found out why Grace was being confused for another student by the lunch lady and being accused of already having lunch. These are great strategies that will help you clarify when you don't understand what you're reading. Keep this anchor chart in the back of your mind for when you are reading to help you make your reading a 10 out of 10. What you're going to do next is look at your books that you found in your Just Right section of the library. Maybe that book is just right. Maybe you need to try out a strategy to get back on track because you don't understand. The important thing is if a book does not make sense as you read it, that's not okay. So realize when reading isn't making sense and then do something about it. You can practice the strategy for the rest of your reading life, and you might practice today as you read your books. Today, you will flag any places where your reading gets off track, and you will try a strategy to get it back on track. Before you go off and read, quickly check to see how many pages you read yesterday in our reading logs. Now, make it a goal to read that many pages or more. Bookmark with a post-it note your starting page and your time. I can't wait to hear you read in your reading conferences as we pull in our rest of our lesson, each of you to talk about your books. Good luck, readers, and make sure you notice when your reading stops making sense. Use these strategies. Off you go.